Yes, people, we are live. Mr. Gumza mash up the ting, ended the stream, then just ducked out, man, when the stream was flowing. But yeah,
Legendary.
I could see. Obviously, this is what happens when you back Eddie,
I
bro.
rattled him, bro. I rattled him.
Everything just falls apart. That's gonna be our title. That's gonna be our title challenge, bro. It's gonna fall apart in the hands of Eddie and Ketty, bro. But yeah, I can see a couple of you have jumped on already, so that's all good. But yeah, we're gonna continue where we left off, which was Niger. You obviously jumped on the stream. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, now my people, my people. At least comes and leaving allows me to do my intro again. The dark skinned man from the motherland. If you didn't know before, today you go understand. I'm good, bro. Always in good spirits. It's a bit weird, which shouldn't be weird, but it's a bit weird that there's no football again today. Like it's weird, isn't
Yeah, it is strange, bro.
it? Like no matches, but regular proceedings resume tomorrow. So I'm all
No, I
for it.
hear that. I hear that. But yeah, obviously, like, myself, Gumza, Tony, we've been getting into this whole, stuff about obviously Jesus' injury. What do Arsenal do now? How does it impact us? Who do we bring in, if anybody? Does the plan change because of Jesus' injury? So I'm gonna literally just put it to you, give you the floor. Like, obviously, how are you feeling about the Jesus injury, first of all? And two, how does this impact our season? What do we do? Does it change our plans in January? Just give it to me. Just offload.
To be honest, I'm not alarmed by the Jesus thing because predominantly I'm still excited about where we're at this season. Obviously, I'm
Okay.
annoyed that it's 3 months, what people are rumored to say, but you never know with these injuries. Maybe he could rush back or whatever. But what I will say is it doesn't change my opinion of where we're going to finish. I didn't think I was not on the train of we're going to win the league. Some
Yeah.
people think that that means me just saying, "Oh, I don't want to say it because I don't want to get memed at the end of the season and all that stuff." No, I
Mm.
genuinely don't believe this squad is good enough to win the league just yet. And I think
Yeah.
we're but as from what the points say, we're in a title challenge. But if I look in squad for squad, I don't think we've got enough in it. So it's not
Mm.
like Jesus being injured has changed the fact that our squad is short. It's not changed that. The reason why our
Okay.
squad is short is because everyone was like, what happens when Jesus gets injured in it? So it's not like it's a new thing that's happened. Everyone's talked
Yeah.
about it. Everyone's like, oh shit, when it happens, it's gonna be a madness. So it's clearly been something there. So you'd like to assume the board, Arteta, have thought about this in January,
They've
innit?
got to have thought about it. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
do you get me? So now I think maybe with Jesus fit, they might have 100% gone for like a Mudrick or whatever, because
Mm.
obviously he's not necessarily he can play the false nine, but he's not really known for playing in the middle. He's known for playing the
Mm.
wide areas, right? But now Jesus is injured, they might go for a player that's known for being able to fit in through the middle as play wide, like maybe a
Mm.
cheeky little Zaha, which I know Tony doesn't like, or like a Gakpo potentially because he scored 3 goals in 3 games of the group stages in the World Cup. So it maybe changes who we're looking at
Yeah.
as the potential winger. But I don't think Jesus getting injured really changes anything. We've always had the problem of what happens when we have to rely on Eddie. What have you done for me lately, Eddie? Nothing. Nothing.
You know what is mad, yeah? Because it was so funny because I was having this debate in one of the Arsenal group chats that I'm in on Twitter, um, and somebody was saying, obviously, well, some of the people that I was debating with was telling me that Eddie, Eddie, obviously they rate Eddie. They say Eddie will get into the side of, or the squads of some of the other top six sides, etc.,
Which
etc.
ones? Which ones?
Bro, literally, I was hearing Eddie would start over Rashford for United.
Nah, you're
I
lying.
was
No one said that.
hearing,
No one said
bruv,
that. No one
and
said that.
these weren't trolls either. And
Nah, they were, bro. They were
I was
drawing you
hearing
out. They're trying to draw you out.
Eddie would
Like Silver Fox does to me all
Eddie
the time.
would start over Aubameyang and Broja at Chelsea, and I was like, okay. So we did this little list, um, and it was like, because obviously, like, we also discussed in this stream how difficult it is sometimes to get a quality second striker. And one of the guys in the
Mm-hmm.
group chat actually put together a list. Now you've got Alvarez at City, You got
Yeah.
Richarlison at Spurs. You got Martial at United. You got Isak, although that might be a little bit misleading because he's been injured and Callum Wilson is playing. But just say Callum Wilson then, and you've got Jota, Diogo Jota at Liverpool. Where would you rank Eddie across against those players? Alvarez, Richarlison, Martial.
Bro, Eddie's not better than any of those brothers. Eddie is not better than any of those guys you listed, bro. None of them. None of them. And you know what? There's nothing I want more than for Eddie and Ketia to say shut up to all these trolls and people that have doubted me and drops 10 Premier League goals on our head tops. Bro, do you know how good that'll make me feel? Hey, even as much as I hated, I've been hating on Reece Nelson over the last couple of seasons because I don't think he's pushing himself. I loved he shut man up when he came on. If you watch the reactions of that game, he shut man up nicely, and I want that. There's nothing that makes us happy as Arsenal fans, and a Haaland product come to the first team and doing his thing. But Eddie, your youngers, Smith Rowe, Saka, everybody there compassed you now. I beg, please.
Can I bring something? Obviously, you weren't here when we were discussing Eddie. Let's just say, right, we've seen Eddie this season only for like a few minutes per game in the Premier League, and ultimately,
and in the Europa League,
we've seen him in the Europa League, but with a second fiddle, if you like. Now, do you think he could improve with the likes of Martinelli, Saka either side of him, and the likes of Odegaard, Xhaka, Partey behind him? Like we saw a bit last season towards the tail end. You know, we played Chelsea. He hassled defenders, got 2 goals out of it. Do you think maybe with these players around, he could improve it? He could do a job.
Look, there's one thing that I would say about Arsenal, is that with the players that we have now, the setup we have, we will create chances. So what is going to happen is Eddie and Ketia, there will never be a better part of his Arsenal career to shut up, man, than now. Because he's going to get chances, isn't it? Can he finish his dinner? That's the real question. And prior to this massive opportunity where he's not really been relied on, he's not really turned up. You could say that's lack of motivation. You say it's coming in and out of the team. But for me, Eddie's been more closer to the first team this season than he's ever been in his Arsenal career. But yet he's not banging goals. Do you get what I'm saying? So maybe with the way we're playing, with the chances we're going to create, he's going to have enough to put some away. And if that happens, you will see me shamelessly doing cartwheels, backflips, knee slides across the floor, and shouting Eddie, picking up the phone and calling Gums, all of that. But I don't know, man. I want to be pleasantly surprised, but I can't see it.
No, I hear you. It is one of those ones. And like I said, I think this debate is always going to depend on basically how you view Eddie and Ketia at the moment. Because at the moment, Eddie and Ketia, like I said, he's the one that signed, he signed a new deal. He's getting the $100,000 a week. He's got the number 14. So depending on how you see Eddie, depends on how you feel about going into the obviously the second half of the Premier League season. I'm nervous. I've got to admit it. I'm concerned. And that's just because I don't have the same faith that the club has shown in Eddie and some of the sections of Arsenal fan base. However, like I said, I'm going to support him. I want him to prove me wrong. I really do want him to prove me wrong, because if he proves me wrong and he performs, then that's only going to benefit Arsenal and our season. So I really, really want to be wrong, but at the same time, I can't sit here and not be honest, which for me is I'm very concerned, because it's not just the 5 goals that Jesus has scored, because let's face it, he's not been prolific. It's just what he brings to the team in terms of work rate, energy, passion. The assists he's got, just everything he does, just him as a package. And I think Arsenal and Eddie have got their work cut out to replicate that in his absence. I really do.
Big time. But gee, I don't think there's no need for panic stations. Like, if Arsenal fans are panicking, they allowed the media to enter their heads. All of them. They said, "Ooh, you lot are going to win the league after 15 games," and they bought so much in that, so they're panicking, freaking out. We got to do this. We got to do that. Calm the freak down. Like, at the end of the day, we're on track to hit our target. I know the
top four,
promised land. We
yeah,
love to win the Premier League. But what this January will show me is how ambitious our owners really are, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? Because obviously last season they could do it because the trajectory was we wanted you to finish top 6 and we're already comfortably in 4th at that point. So we don't need to reinvest at this point because anything above 6 is a bonus, which how I think they looked at last season. I believe because of the media hype, our fans are going to be onto them this January about, come on, it's a massive opportunity. We don't know how every team's going to react after the World Cup. We're top by 5 points. De Bruyne looks like he might be off it. You never know. All these little things, and it's their chance to show the fans, do you know what? We're really about this title thing, isn't it? Now, even though it's early to what we expected it, we're ready to throw 2-3 players on your head top and let's go for it. Like, obviously, I'll be gassed. I'm like, yo, you hear me end of January saying, we're going for the league. Are you mad? Shamelessly, I'll rip my shirt off. Shamelessly, bro. If Eddie Nketiah scores like a hat trick in the next game, I will shamelessly dance across Tunnel TV studio screaming out Eddie. You see fans, yeah? Fans, like there's certain fans that are scared of being wrong, so they don't say things.
Yeah. I'm not.
Like I'm going as far as saying maybe I was wrong about Xhaka, innit? Because my issue wasn't necessarily with him; it was with the club for keeping him after all that madness, innit? Because I believe throwing the armband, all that, I still think that's very disrespectful. But with that being said, he's got his head down. Arteta's found the perfect way to use him, and he's been our player of the season. I will shamelessly hold up my hand and say I never saw that coming. Big up Bukayo Saka. People are like laughing at me. Oh, you said this about Xhaka. Like, laugh at me all you want. The reason you're laughing at me is because my team are doing fucking good right now. So I am okay with that laughter. I'm okay.
Yeah, and I think that's an important point. You know, that's something I've said. You know, and that's what I was saying. The debates I have with other Arsenal fans is that, look, I don't have no agenda against Eddie. At the end of the day, I'm just going by what I've seen as an Arsenal fan, and we're all entitled to an opinion. And in my opinion, I don't think he's good enough to be our second striker. I don't honestly believe that he's going to do the business in January. Do I want him to? Hell yeah. Do I care? Like I honestly want him to. I want him to prove me wrong. I want us to do well because if Eddie does well, we do well. And I'm like you, Nigel. I don't have any issue with being wrong. I want to be wrong. When you have supporters that they can't see what's in front of them and they stick to that narrative, then it becomes an agenda-driven thing.
Yeah.
With Eddie, I've got nothing against the kid. Like literally, even when I wanted the club to let him go, but at the end of the day, the club tied him down, and I accepted it. I just went with it because at the end of the day, you know, I can bang the drum all I want. By the end of the day, you got a new long-term contract, so I've got to get used to the fact that he's going to be in the red or the white of Arsenal. So it is what it is. Before we move on to because we're going to do a little quarter-final prediction for the World Cup to end the show. But before we move on, there was a player that we were discussing before Gumza ended the last stream. Yeah, cheers for that, Gumza. And that was Cody Gakpo. And I said that he wasn't a player for me that I'd ever really been completely convinced by. One, because of where he's playing. Two, because when I've watched him, he's not blown me away, even when he's been on the score sheet. However, given Jesus' injury, I do see the sense in buying more of a wing or wide player that can deputize as a number 9. What are your thoughts on that, Tony?
Yeah, I'm the same. I was never really convinced by him. We saw him in the Europa League. Not really convinced. Didn't offer too much for me, in my opinion. I'm still not convinced now. I'll be honest. I know he's doing this thing in the World Cup. He's scoring goals. As a backup to Jesus, though, I'm not too sure. It would be cheaper. It would be cheaper than like your Mudryk or someone like that. Actually, I don't know. Mudryk's probably about the same, isn't he? I think they were going to take a cut price for him, wouldn't they? But I don't know.
I'm hearing 60, 70 million for Gakpo.
Oh, are you?
Because of the World Cup.
There's all sorts of noise in there. But you don't know what to believe anymore. But yeah, the thing with Gakpo is, I think he still needs. He's going to be one of those players that you'd sign in the summer. He still needs to have another half a season of where he is
Mm.
for me. He'll get thrown right in the deep end if he came here,
Mm.
the Premier League, with his development and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily go in for him. Would I be upset if we did? If he can perform and prove me wrong, because
Yeah.
we've all been proved wrong here. That's all
Mm.
we want, fans. So, but for
Yeah.
me, no. For me, right now, no. I think this is just Colm. He's a Man United fan. He wants me to say, "Oh, I want him. I want him. I want him." When he eventually goes to Man United, because Man United are building a Eredivisie all-star team, aren't they? So that's so. Yeah, no. Right now, ask me again in the summer.
No problem. No worry. And no problem, Gumza, man.
Nah, we're not
Feel
hearing
good,
that.
bro.
Nah,
No.
Banda. I'm not sorry. I'm not accepting the sorry. What?
He was doing so well. He was
I accept your apology, Gumza, man. I accept your
I
apology.
accept shit.
Niger, same question to you. Cody Gakpo, give me your thoughts.
What I will say is, just like Tony, I've not been impressed enough for us to sign him before the World Cup. But I've seen some nice bits in the World Cup that has got me to a stage where I'm like, in the future, like as a number 9, this guy could be a little bit of a baller because he can hit left foot, right foot. He's got a height on him. Like he can potentially lead the line. I don't think he's ready yet, but I can see the player like in a couple of years down the line that he's going to be. But from the prices I'm hearing, 60, 70 million, I don't want to go anywhere near him. If it was like the prices they were talking in summer, like 20, 30, it's definitely worth a pump. For 60, 70 right now, I don't think he's ready for, as Tony said, for that type of pressure to have to hit the ground running, where maybe if he had like a pre-season behind him, you could ease him and that would be easier. Whereas now we need someone ready to bang now. And I don't think he's ready for that pressure now. But if we were to get him, because of what I've seen in the World Cup, just like Tony said, I wouldn't be absolutely fuming about it. But I do believe there's a lot better we can get for less money, and more effective in those positions. So yeah,
definitely,
not bad.
No, I hear that. I think obviously for the World Cup, I think as everybody kind of envisioned, you score a couple of goals in the World Cup, your price is going to triple. I think what doesn't help, and I know we've got a Man United fan in the chat, but I think what doesn't help is having Man United interested in these services. I think, when you look at the fees United have consistently paid for players, I think as soon as they are interested in a player,
changes the game.
It completely changes the game. And by the sounds of it, Man United are very interested. He's kind of like their number 1 target for the January kind of summer window. And for me, as soon as I saw that, I'm just like, yeah, it's done. Because at the end of the day, you've seen what happened with Anthony Martinez in terms of, Ajax, crazy amounts of money. So, I can see PSV easily charging anywhere between 50 to 80 million for Cody Gakpo, 100%. So, and we're not going to pay that in Jan, we're not going to pay that in summer, we're not going to pay that ever. So I'm kind of
I'm okay missing out on him. He's the player that I'm like.
As much as I think he could offer us something, for that kind of money, I'm just not into it. But before we go, we're going to do a quick World Cup quarterfinal prediction. So we've got tomorrow, actually, we've got Croatia playing Brazil, and we've got Netherlands versus Argentina.
Come on.
Give me your thoughts, Niger, on Croatia, Brazil, and Netherlands, Nigeria. Sorry, Netherlands, Argentina.
Amen to that. He's talking the next World Cup into existence.
Yeah.
To the quarters, very minimum. Big up to talk for that. But yeah, smash the like, by the way, people. Smash the like button. Want as many likes on this video as possible. Reshare, comment, all of that. But what I would say, is Croatia are done out here, innit? Like they literally have no right to be in this quarterfinal. Let's be honest. Like they should have been out in the last round. They got lucky, extremely lucky, but they made it. At the end of the day, you've got to make it, and they're here. I can't see anything but like a 2-3-0 for Brazil. Like they're just too strong. Too many attacking options. And what I was a little bit concerned about with Brazil is in the first game. I don't know if you saw it. It was like they were looking for Neymar too much. Like, as soon as we get the ball, give it to him and he's going to figure it out. Whereas when he dropped out for a couple of games, they're like, okay, we can actually play without him. So when he comes in, he can complement this rather than everything needs to go through him. It's not like them World Cups where if Neymar gets injured, they have no attacking threat and no attacking options. It's not that. They've got bare options in it. It's like one of the most crazy attacking options ever. They're so crazy. It got Deji Spurs saying that it's the best Brazil squad of all time, which is still wild. And we'll talk about that on another stream. But I think, comfortable victory for Brazil. End of the Croatian golden generation with Modric and Perisic and all the itches and all that. Yeah, they're going to be put to bed tomorrow. But my team, my European team, the Dutch, Orange, they're coming to shoot up and end Messi's World Cup dream, innit? That's it. Messi is out of the World Cup tomorrow. Remember where you heard it first. All you Messi fans, stands, all of that. Sorry, forgive me. It's the end of his World Cup legacy tomorrow night. So, and I don't want to do it. I love Messi. I would love for it to be a Argentina-Portugal final. That would be incredible to see. The whole football world would love to see that. Finally end the debate once and for all. Would it take so in it? Because
debate though, would it?
That's it. Because whoever won that game,
debate at the end of the careers, isn't it?
Literally, if that debate goes on and that's how it ends, it's who. All I'm going to say at the end of my debate is, but I won the World Cup final against him. Like what? That's it.
No.
Even though we know he's a baller.
No. Portugal ended that debate in the last game. They didn't play him. Well, he came on late, but yeah. Look what they did without him.
Hey, bruv. Hey. I don't want to start that here, man. Ronaldo's still one of the legends in it. Still top 5. Yeah, top 5 of all time.
So
Netherlands are going to win that game 2-1. Obviously, they owe Argentina from the last World Cup as well. They knocked them out on penalties. Not the last one, the previous to that, but they knocked them out on penalties. And obviously, it's still recovering from the final loss to Argentina some years back as well. So there's a lot of spiciness in that. And everyone remembers the Argentina versus Holland game with Dennis Bergkamp.
I was going to bring that up. That's all I think about.
1998, that goal.
Oh my God.
Hopefully, Memphis is going to come with some magics like that to roll back the times and get the result. 2-1, I'm saying, for that game. 3-0 to Brazil in the other game.
No problem. Tony, what are your thoughts? Croatia, Brazil, Netherlands, Argentina.
I was going to echo the exact same score lines as Nigel gave you then. I was going to do that. You know I'm not high on Brazil. Yeah. You know that.
Yeah, we do.
Listen, whatever Brazil do, if you're listening, if you're watching, do not dance under any circumstances.
You can dance.
It's not strictly, all right? It's not strictly.
Feed the pigeons, yeah, but just yeah. Wait, listen. Right, I have Brazil smashing Croatia. Due to the fact that I don't even know how Croatia were there. Actually, I know because Japan's penalties were dreadful.
They
were. I watched it back today. They were awful.
They were so bad. I mean, somehow Spain's were worse, but they were terrible.
Yeah.
We said this before. We said this last week, when we were talking about Croatia. They have nothing up front. Gone are the days of Mandzukic. You know, they don't have any.
Someone for me, can hold up the play, all that stuff.
They haven't got anyone like that to punish teams. They've just somehow managed to get this far, which.
It's literally that. It's literally somehow we're there. Like they don't know what they did. They don't know their tactics. They were just here.
Yeah. I don't even think the fans are like they're like, how are we here? I don't know, but Brazil we know about their. They have got good players, and they're gonna hurt this aging defense as well because defense of American apparently defense with like you got a man like Lovren. They'll deal with him. They will deal with. It's going to be 3-0, drop down Brazil. And then I'm going with Holland as well. It's just something's telling me. Argentina, they've been too reliant on Messi. And Australia could have punished them at times.
That's what I'm saying. They're another team that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, but USA had chances against Holland, you know. Like, on a different day.
Come on,
on a different day,
what could happen?
Well, we know
they could have lost 3-2 instead of 3-1. Yeah.
If you're gonna argue Australia could have done Argentina, USA could have easily done Holland.
Nah, bro, it's not even close, bro. It's not even close. USA were not. They weren't in the game, bro. 2-0 quickly. They got they had a little 10-minute spell where they got the 2-1, and then not even 10 minutes. Within 5 minutes, they'd already made it 3, bro.
Well, I'm going Brazil. I'm going Brazil 100%. I think they could beat Croatia 4-5.
I can already tell you
they could really batter them. But in terms of Holland, Argentina, I'm going for Argentina.
Look at him, Messi man there, yeah.
Messi magic. He's gonna send the Dutch packing, yeah, on tomorrow. You wait, yeah.
Messi ain't no DH,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't really rate this Argentinian side, but this Dutch side is dreadful.
No, I won't lie. They are dead. This is the worst Dutch side I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie, but
when I look at the team, yeah, I'm just like, hold on, like, what is going on? What is this?
But this Argentina team, they can't play ball, bro. They are awful at football. They're awful. It's either Messi or nothing, and Messi's not young enough to win this for them.
When you got the goal in your team, you have an opportunity.
For sure. But he's not young enough to do it for them. G. Sorry.
And I believe Argentina are going to beat Netherlands. So I'm going to go 4-0 Brazil against Croatia, and I'm going to go sprinkle of little Messi magic to send the Dutch home 2-1 to Argentina.
You're buzzing, mate.
We were talking about Gakpo's valuation. After this game, Romero's going to raise that even more because Gakpo's going to be
Yeah, you know what? Though? The fact is, I don't see us buying him. So I'd happily see Argentina. Well, I don't care who wins, but I'd happily see Gakpo score a hat trick in this match, and then PSV charge United 150 million for him. So
I'm okay with that.
I'm not too bothered, to be honest, because I honestly don't see us signing him at all. I think the Dutch connection.
So basically, you're just preparing the excuse for when.
Yeah, you got the Dutch connection, man. Like Ten Hag, and I just can't see it. Next couple of games are really interesting. Boy, I need to go soon. I already said 1:15, and I'm still here. We've got Morocco versus Portugal, and we've got obviously England versus France. Now, I'll come to you first on this one, Tony. Morocco, Portugal, England, France. What are your predictions?
Right, let's go Morocco, Portugal first. I fancy Morocco to call. Can we call it an upset? I don't know because
upset.
I think we can.
I'm impressed by Morocco. The way they shut teams out.
Mm-hmm.
They've been shutting teams out in this World Cup.
Amrabat, DM of the tournament. Amrabat
talked about enough. Yeah, and the way they took their penalties as well. I've just been impressed by what they've done this World Cup. And I know Portugal were free scoring in the last game, but I mean, Switzerland never turned up. Yeah. They were ready to go home, Switzerland. They were like, okay, but let's just go on the pitch and we'll go home, whatever. So I think, and then Portugal's games are never usually like that. They're usually close games as well. And this is going to be a tight game. It's going to be 1-0 either way. And I'm going to sway it to Morocco, man. I want to give it to Morocco.
Okay. Morocco in another tight encounter. And then obviously the most important game of the weekend.
Down, yeah?
The most important game of the weekend.
They finish on Morocco. For finish on Morocco, Portugal first for you guys, and then we'll go on to England.
Okay. I'll go first on Portugal. I'll go first on Portugal and Morocco before Niger. My head is telling me that Portugal will have a bit too much, but I want Morocco to progress. And when I look at the way they've played, I think they have every opportunity to progress. The only reason why I worry about this match is I think Portugal have a lot more up top than Spain did in terms of firepower. So I think Portugal will edge this one. And I'm going to go reluctantly. I'm going to go Portugal 2-1 against Morocco, but I do want Morocco to progress. But I think it's going to be a very tight game. As you said, Tony. Niger, Morocco, Portugal.
Do you know what? Like Tony will remind you, lot. I said it, I called it, and an African team is going to get furthest this year. we obviously we're there at the quarterfinal stage, which an African team has been at before. So this is it, isn't it? So Morocco were announced. I said it was they were a dark horse for this tournament. I saw Ziyech playing like this because he's finally got back in the team. Obviously, he won the battle between him and the last manager, and he lasted him. So that guy got sacked. He came back into the side, and he's played a great World Cup. He showed some Chelsea fans that doubted him he can still ball, and anyone that wants to buy him in January, there he is. I'd take a Ziyech. I only wouldn't take him because he's not the type of player we need. But if he was a player we needed, I think he's still got quality that he would make a difference in our side. But we just don't need that style of player right now, so he can go elsewhere. But with that being said, do you know what? Portugal, as Tony said before that game, I was very much, Morocco, it's not even a question. But I don't know what happened. Was it that removing the pressure of having Ronaldo demand the ball every time to go forward, let them take the chains off? Bruno had more freedom. This guy, obviously, the number 9 was basically an unknown on the international scene, and he was able to score a hat-trick, innit? So is it one of them ones where it was just one of those World Cup games where someone was about to make a name for himself and then we never hear about him again? Or this was really the new style of Portugal, the Portugal that's been ready to be unleashed? Because let's be honest, their squad is super talented, creative players, flair players, guys that could dribble. I thought we'd see more of Leao than we've seen in this tournament so far, because I think he's an exceptional talent. Already got 2 goals from the bench in the World Cup as well. So I don't know. Tomorrow, or was it Saturday? Sorry, Saturday we'll finally find out how much balls this coach really has, isn't it? Obviously, it took a lot of balls to drop Ronaldo that last game after some disciplinary issues. To do it back to back, the minerals this guy has to have are massive. But how do you drop a guy that scored a hat trick, bro?
This is it, though.
How do you drop that? How do you even change that team, bro?
I can't see how he brings Ronaldo back in this situation. But at the same time, I agree with what you're saying. I think we need to see Portugal on a more consistent basis, playing without Ronaldo, to see how they will actually fare. Because I'm not a huge Ronaldo fan. I've always preferred Messi over Ronaldo. However, I did kind of allude in the WhatsApp group that I do find it a little bit OTT, like the Ronaldo hate at the moment. I feel like I get it. He's got an ego. I've never liked him on a personal level in terms of what I've seen, and that's why I've always sided with Messi, not just because of football ability, but I think there's a lot more to being great than just what you do with a football at your feet. So,
I agree, but you see this, if I wish Messi and Ronaldo's personalities switched, in it, because I know Messi's on eye test, he's a better player than Ronaldo for me. I know this, but I prefer Ronaldo to Messi because of that fucking arrogance of him. I don't care, I'm gonna do everything. Because for me, that's the reason why Portugal were able to win a European Championship at that time.
Yeah, no, it is.
He wasn't trying to do everything. He was like, everyone, you know your role.
He is 100%.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm annoyed with the general public. Like, they think this is nothing. This Ronaldo is not. He's not changed in the last 12 months. He's always been this guy. Why are we acting alarmed? That, Ronaldo thinks about himself.
This is the thing, though. This is what annoys me about the whole situation, is because I think what it basically is I remember the times when Ronaldo he's always had tantrums on the pitch. He's always had tantrums in dressing rooms. I remember when he grabbed a microphone off a reporter and threw it into a lake. He's always had this thing about him. It's not something I've massively been in favor for, because I think being a role model, being a team player, I think there's a lot more to it. At the same time, it's like because his game is somewhat declining through age. Let's remember the guy. I mean, come on, the guy's like almost 40. It's gonna happen. I feel like people are now picking up on certain like character attributes, and I'm like, Ronaldo's always been the same, and I do find a lot of the criticism of him a little bit OTT. I mean, this guy has literally entertained us for the last 20 years. Like, he's scored hundreds of goals, hat tricks, Champions League. international trophies, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, Ronaldo in the bin, you know, drop him, he's crap. And I'm a bit
if
like,
not Ronaldo, there wouldn't have been a Messi.
I'm like, come on, man. It's a bit. I do get it. Like, I do get it, the ego and the interview, and I do understand that he is a person that divides opinion. But I do just think, like, we are talking about one of the, if not arguably the best player in the world. I do think there is a little bit of a disrespect, and that's just me personally. Like, him dropping, like, for me, him being dropped to the Portuguese side, and this guy Ramos coming in and scoring a hat trick. It should be, you know, hats off to Ramos. It shouldn't be, oh, you see, this is because Ronaldo's crap. You see, they were good to drop him.
Thank you.
I don't really get that narrative.
They even tried to say he was upset when the guy scored goals, and he was celebrating.
I just think it's a bit OTT, man. I just think, like, at some point Ronaldo and Messi were going to decline as players. They were going to, you know, they're going to get their last, you know, payday move. They're not always going to be regular footballers.
And on top of that, like, people forget that Ronaldo is still 2 years older than Messi, innit? They're obviously going to decline differently as well. Like,
it's just mad. It's a bit over the top for me. It's a bit over the top. But like I say, each to their own. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, you know, how they want to express it. But I'm going to go as far as to say, like, and I know I shouldn't because there's nothing to, but I do feel a little bit sorry for him. I'm going to be honest. I just think a lot of the stuff that's going on the timeline and in the media, I do think there's a bit of a kind of witch hunt, and I think it's because people love to see somebody fail, and I think for so long, I think Ronaldo has just been the epitome of what greatness is. Now he, you know, there's kryptonite. Now, you know, there are chinks in his armor. It's like, yes. We've got something.
Let's jump on it. Yeah.
Like, I just don't get it, man. I honestly don't get it. Like, I've never liked the guy personally, but I just think the guy's 37. He's coming to the end of his football career. Like, he's human, you know. He got dropped.
That's okay. That's
cool.
okay. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, do you know what I'm saying?
The only issue is, which is maybe not necessarily an issue, is even though he knows he's declining, he doesn't know he's declining. If that
and he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't want to accept it.
Yeah. So, like, 100%. There's nobody can tell me that if Portugal don't start him, but they need to go in the last 15, Ronaldo's not a freaking incredible option to bring off the bench.
Yeah.
And then if he does,
look at
scores the winning goal in the
World
Cup final, who cares?
With all due respect, Luke, I respect your opinion, but to say Ronaldo hasn't entertained the world of football is like, I don't understand it.
It's blasphemy, bro.
I just don't understand it, man. I really don't. But I respect your opinion, Luke, nevertheless. But I've never been, and people will tell you that know me personally, I've never been a massive Ronaldo fan at all. But you can't deny the man's greatness. Like, you just can't. And I don't see why now he is beginning to decline, that we should all just say and jump on the bandwagon like we all do all the time.
Yeah, like,
and just nail him, you know. It's just man.
It's like, do you know what? Like, people just like, I like Ronaldo because he's arrogant, but he's not just arrogant like a Balotelli arrogant. You know what I'm saying? And not do much. He's arrogant, but when you look at the accolades, I'm backing it up. It's like, people you'd love to hate on Floyd Mayweather, but I love him because he's arrogant. Yeah, but he's going to back it up in the ring after. If you're arrogant for arrogant stage, it's like Adrian Broner who gets who's lost quite a few bouts. It's a little bit different, but if you're arrogant and you're following through, I love it. And a part of me wanted to see a bit more of that arrogance from Messi. I don't know if you remember, there was a game, I think, at the Bernabeu where it was 2-2 up until the 88th minute, and then Messi scored the winner. And it was at the Bernabeu, and he stripped off his shirt and turned it around and goes, "What's my name?" And I was like, "Yes, Messi, that's what we want to see. That's what we want." He's like, "What's my name?" At the Bernabeu. Yeah, that's what we love. As a fan, that's what I like to see. Own your greatness, innit? Own your greatness.
I hear you. But yeah, we're gonna move on.
37 isn't old. Okay, you just want to
exactly.
Yeah,
that's how old I am.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. Like, I'm a year older. Like, it's mad. Do you know what I'm saying? So
football age.
We're gonna wrap things up. Obviously, look at the England game. I've really got to go. So can one of you take over? The only thing I'm gonna say before I go is obviously England versus France. it's a difficult
Prediction,
one.
bro.
Yeah, it's a really difficult one for me. And I'm really not sure how it's going to go. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think there are going to be goals in it. I think it could
Don't need
potentially
any
go
politics today,
time.
G. Just give us your
Even penalties. I know what you're saying, Nigel, but it's a hard one. It's a really, really hard one. I'm going to go for England 2-1 win in extra time.
Yeah,
Again,
I wasn't expecting that from you, bro.
And I've got French affiliations, but my loyalty is firmly with the three lines on this one because this is where I was born. This is the country I was.
Oh,
raised.
so it's a heart thing, not a head
So
thing.
it is.
Okay,
It's a difficult one for me. It's a really difficult one.
It's a heart thing. It's a heart thing.
Yeah. At the same time, it's like, yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. 2-1, we're going to nick it in extra time. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to leave you to it. Take care, my bros. I need to go. I was supposed to be done at 1 p.m., man. It's like 22 now. Take it easy.
Best, man. Take it easy, bro. Yeah, Gums' fault, man.
Yeah, take it easy, man. Bless up.
Big up, bro. Big up.
Yeah. I'm not going to end the stream, by the way.
Make sure you don't. I was about to say that.
Take it easy.
Hey, England versus France, yeah?
Go on then, let's have it.
England versus France, yeah? Brother, look, hey, Silver, look, I love England, innit? As a country. I love my people, the place I was born and raised. It's half of my name and all that. So, obviously, my allegiance to the English national team is dissolved for other reasons. But this particular fixture, the only reason I'm saying England aren't going to win it is because of Southgate. Not because they don't have the ability. Is as much as I believe this guy, he needs his credit, he needs his flowers because he has been the greatest manager of England since Alf Ramsey, innit? So give him his flowers. Props to Southgate. But when push comes to shove against the big teams, final minutes, something needs to change. A tactic needs to change to keep the result, or a tactic needs to change to push for one more goal against these big teams. His record's not really been the best, in it. So if it gets to a point, which I think it will, where it's tense, final 25 minutes, I just believe France will just have enough to take it home. And I think it'll be 2-0 to France. Then England will score. Yeah, England will score. It's going to be a bit shaky. And when Southgate's all over the place, just making his crazy substitutions that he loves to do, I think that's when France will take it to 3-1, isn't it? So 3-1 France is my final score for this game.
Right, let me ask you the question then. If England beat France, will you change your opinion on Southgate a little bit?
Yeah, it's coming home, bro. It's coming home if England wins this game.
Oh, all right. So are your winners in this match then?
So what?
Are your winners in this match?
No. But
okay.
But if England are able to win this, my winners right now are Brazil, innit?
Yeah,
I just think they'll have France's number. But for some reason, if England have managed to find a way to beat France with Mbappe and all that, I just think the momentum, the euphoria, I just think there's just something about it. I just think, I don't think it's like Argentina. If Argentina beat Holland, I'm thinking, okay, they're definitely getting to the final now. Do you get what I'm saying? Things like that. I just think England, the momentum and the belief after beating the world champions will be too much to ignore. And I think they'll do it then, but I just can't see it happening. So
I respect that. I respect that.
I'm
just feeling. I can feel something. I'm feeling it. I'm just feeling it. If this was a French team that still had a Kante, a Benzema, I'd be scared. But me, all I'm worried about is Kylian Mbappe. That's all I'm worried about because I may have ripped into Mbappe in the group chat, but the thing about Mbappe, but the thing about Mbappe is that he's the kind of player that's at the right place at the right time. We got and obviously, and I saw I saw something the other day, and I'm going to echo it. If England are if they're too fixed on Mbappe, we're going to lose the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, you literally read my mind there. Literally.
So just let the Walker and the defense do their thing. Just let him. We know Walker. He can deal with Mbappe. He's done it before. Maybe he's a little bit old now. Maybe he's going to be a little bit slower now. Yeah, maybe. But if we just go do our thing. If we play like we did against Senegal, but actually start better because we didn't start that great against Senegal. But if we do our thing, we can beat them. The team is good enough. The team is good enough.
Tony, the squad is good enough to beat anyone at this tournament, bro. I think with a quality coach, England have the squad that can win this tournament. I probably would have replaced Ivan Toney with Callum Wilson, but other than that, they've got a solid squad that could win this tournament. I just don't think at the business end, when the crucial decisions need to be made, if something needs to be made in the middle of the game to change it up, I just can't see Gareth doing it. Like if he, like for example, if he doesn't get it right with his 11, right? I can't see him fixing it and then getting it right before the end of the 90 minutes. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas if Jay Shumps isn't getting it right, I believe. Go on.
What's your 11? Obviously, you got the 4.
My 11 would be Shaw, Maguire, Stones. I guess you'd have to play them because Ben's not about, and then Walker. So it's been a solid Pickford in goal. Obviously, my midfield 3 would be Declan, Bellingham, and Foden. That would be my 3. Because I believe with Foden in there, they've got the ability to pass it around them boys, them Tchouaméni and Rabiot and them boys, innit? Without Foden there, well, you're throwing in a Hendo. That's not really a too quick touch passing type of guy. He done a job, don't get me wrong, against Senegal, and he impressed me. I didn't even expect him to start. But against them French boys, I can't see it. And then my front 3 would be Rashford on the left, Saka on the right, Kane through the middle. That would be my team. Alternatively, I might, if I'm a little bit scared about being exposed in the midfield, I might, this might be controversial, play Henderson instead of Bellingham and then bring him on second half. But how do you drop Jude right now? Do you get what I'm saying? He's played a little bit too well for it to happen. So I would go with that 11. If he goes with that 11 tone, I'm scared for France. Real talk. I'm very scared for. But I don't think he's got the bollocks to do it, bro. He's gonna play defensive because he's a defender, defensive-minded, always protect the back and not unleash these boys. Foden will be picking up pockets all day, bro. Oh, mate. I don't know why the team's not built around Phil. I still don't know. It irritates me.
But I think Foden against Senegal was the best I've seen Foden play for England. Was on that left side.
I knew you were going to say that.
It was all coming from there. And I get why he started Henderson, but I get it against Senegal. I get why he started Henderson because he's that mouthpiece that Harry Kane really isn't. Let's have it right. I still don't understand why Kane's captain, but I suppose he's the most senior player in the team, and Henderson didn't start the game. That's probably what it is. But because personally, if Henderson was a better player, he would start in midfield and he would be the captain. I just look, if we don't, like I said, if we don't fix on Mbappe, we'll beat them, no problem. He's literally my only worry. I think the key battle for me would be midfield, and I think it would be Bellingham and Rabiot because I think Rabiot's been France's best player this World Cup. And you questioned, you went what last week when I said that. I watched France again, and right. Rabiot.
What you taking for Arsenal? Yeah.
I'm not. No, it's not about if I take him at Arsenal. I'm saying that in that midfield, and it's not the strongest midfield that France have ever had as well. Let's be fair, right?
Yeah.
Rabiot has been ticking for it. Rabiot has been the main hub of that French team in this World Cup for me. What I've seen.
I hear it, but I don't think Rabiot is going to be the midfielder that will trouble England, man. To be honest, man.
But I think
he's done all right, but I don't know, man. I'm just not convinced about the kid. But to be honest, he started off. He's done all right for Juventus this season as well. I've been watching him this year, so he's done all right. He's added a few goals to his game this year. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure.
I would say that's where the everyone's going to be so fixed on this Walker versus Mbappe. No one's going to see that midfield battle between Bellingham and Rabiot for me, and I think that's where it's going to be key. Look what
I think
look what
Bellingham wins that battle, though. I think he wins that battle.
exactly, and that is why I'm going for an England win. You can watch that side. I'm watching there, and I'm watching. That's
Mate,
where we're going to win.
brother. All it is get Killian 1-1 twice in the game. It's peak, bro. It's peak.
The
Or if he
Slabhead would
gets
deal
in behind, it's
with
imagine Maguire have to deal with Killian, bro. Come on, bro. Come on. He's
that.
not dealt with any striker of that caliber this whole tournament. He's gonna have a nightmare with Mbappe.
Yeah,
And
but that's why
Dembele
Walker,
on Luke Shaw, bro. Dembele on Luke Shaw. Stop this. Stop.
don't worry about him. Dembele will probably get injured in training. Don't worry about him. Right?
Bro, he doesn't do that anymore, bro. He's the new Dembele. He's been injury free since last year, bro. He's done his thing. He stopped eating fast food and
No,
started
it's
getting on
fine.
a proper diet, bro.
The
Bro,
thing about
and you know who else is gonna be lively? You
Go
know
on.
who's gonna be lively for this one, bro. Olivier, bro. He's gonna be alive for this game, bro. I've been waiting to play this England team,
Slabhead's
bro.
got him.
It's,
Slabhead's got
huh?
him. It's all good. Slabhead's got him.
Slabhead's got him, bro. Bro, Olivier has been waiting because you know how much abuse he took in England when he was over there. So he's ready to put them out of the World Cup with a smile on his face. I see 3-1 to France, bro. If England do win, I think it's definitely coming home. But I just don't think Southgate's got the minerals to go with my starting 11 because that starting 11 can win the game, innit? He's going to go with the same team as he did last
Thing is,
time. But
their front three, it's like I said, their front three is as good as our front three. That is why I'm saying the battle in midfield is the one for me. I'll go 3-1, baby, and I ain't going back.
Their front three is as good as our front three.
Yeah, they are. Saka can pull something off. If it's Foden or Rashford, we know they can pull something off. And Harry Kane, Giroud, they're both capable of goals. It's the same. It's the same. For me, it's the same. Saka's gonna get that golden boot this World Cup. He's gonna get that Premier League title in May. He's gonna get the Ballon d'Or next November. I can see it all.
Bro, look, if anything, that I'll be okay with. Saka lights up the game, scores a brace, or makes an influence in winning the game. I'm happy for that situation, but I don't know, Tony. I don't know, man.
I agree, Cole.
Good luck to England, but I don't know, bro.
I agree that Dembele isn't even.
He's not predictable, though, Colm. He's not. He can use his left foot, his right foot. He can take you anywhere inside out, bro. Trust me, he is that guy.
Hey, Luke, I hear you, mate. I do hear you on that comment. And if he get knocked out, I will be the first person to go, well, it's because we had a Tottenham captain. Look at the Lionesses.
Straight.
We won. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, but as an England fan, I think this is probably one of the better chances because these teams are going to get Spain. Spain are going to get.
What's it called?
The African side is definitely going to get better.
Yeah,
they are definitely going to get better. Teams like Japan, I reckon
Japan. Hey, once these Asian boys get strikers,
yeah,
it's a wrap. Even America, once they get a proper leg man, number 9, banger, can hit the back. Them two could do some things. Did
you know that Japan, the Japan FA have set a target for the Japanese national team, and that's for to win the World Cup by 2050. And I look at Japan have passed, and I can't see any reason why not, because football's getting massive over there. Since they hosted the World Cup in 2002. So you think about it, right? 2002 is when they hosted the World Cup, right, with Korea. Mm-hmm. Look at these two teams now.
Nah, bro, I hear it. I can't see it happening still. Something.
No, I can't. But I'm saying,
I see the vision. But yeah, I'm with you. I see the vision, like, because they are growing in it, bit by bit, in it. The quality is getting better and better, and then more players are scattered around Europe as well. So I can see them being a force. They're definitely going to be a force. But I'm gonna go out and just say that an African team will win it before an Asian team win it. That's no
I,
favoritism. I swear. I swear.
I agree with you. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. It's just that, it's as the world goes on, and how global the sport is.
That's it. That's it. It's only a matter of time, isn't it?
Every team's going to get stronger, and I think this is why it's been a really good World Cup. It's been really entertaining, and you've seen more shocks, if you like, if you want to call it.
It's been competitive, Tone. Like other than the
Yeah.
Iran and the Costa Rica game, it's been a very competitive World Cup. Isn't it?
Yeah. And like I said before when we were talking about Croatia, Brazil, I think Japan would give Brazil a harder game than what Croatia would. I honestly do believe that.
Yeah. I'm with that. Japan should have
Like,
won
like,
that game.
like the way I said
comfortably.
Morocco, I'm going to give Portugal a harder game than what Switzerland done. You know what I mean? So
They should have won that game comfortably. What's it called? Japan. They just can't finish their dinner, mate.
yeah,
Literally.
I think the occasion got to them more than anything. I think they knew, we're this close to the quarterfinals of the World Cup because I think. No, they did. Did they
started to creep in.
final Japan, or was it around a 16 they put five? I can't remember.
No,
now.
it's the same. Last time against Belgium, the same shit happened. They even went 2-0 up this time. Last time
They did, yeah, and they lost 3.
Bottled it 3-2. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think they need to get over that psychological battle of getting past that round of 16. I think still Nigeria suffer from that pain. We'll do next
Nigel,
time.
we could go on about the World Cup and
literally forever, literally, especially with the fact that there's no game tonight.
I know it's been a weird couple of days. I said that at the top of the part one, should I say, before Gumser ended it.
Big up.
Got so used to football, it was just I was sat there last night like staring at the walls. What do I do now?
Like, what happens now? Literally, turn. I'm with you, bro.
I was watching Stockport versus Scotland. I was getting well into it. 9 minutes added on at the end of the game as well. You know what I mean? So, like, World Cup vibes with the 9 minutes added on. But no, listen. So,
smash the likes, people.
You've gone for a France win. I've gone for an England win. I mean, that was predictable, wasn't it? And you said if England, and you said you wouldn't be surprised if England won, and if England won, it's coming home. So I can live with that.
I didn't say I wouldn't be surprised, Tone. Don't add words to my put words in my mouth. I said if they win, they'll win the whole thing.
I'll still live with that. I can deal with that.
And who knows? You might see my England shirt come out at that point.
We could have done a Kanebi on this part of this. But no, it's been we started with Gums and G, and it's just ended up with us two waffling on about the World Cup. So we're going to end it there. Let the people know what you got coming up on One Touch TV.
One Touch TV. Look, obviously the World Cup is winding down, so the shows are going to continue. You got a couple of announcements, so we're going to announce on next week's North London Rival show on Monday. Look forward to that. Tunnel TV. Obviously, we'll be doing the live TikToks for the Morocco game, and we'll be doing some reactions for the other games as well. So check that out as well. Big up.
Make sure you do check out the content. It's top notch. It is top notch on both TV and on One Touch TV. But we've been the Armory, and as I try and find the outro, there it is. we're gonna love you and leave you. And we're gonna end the stream properly and not abruptly. So thanks for watching. Do like, share, subscribe, all that fine stuff. Check out the our sponsors, GMS. The links in the description down there somewhere. Or at least it will be because we set up a second stream. So yeah, it'll be there later anyway. But in the meantime. Come on, England, and we'll catch you very, very soon.
Oh, yeah, no.
And now I'm messing this up. There we go.